Welcome, everyone, to Atlassian Presents Unleash. I'm Sean Regan, Global Head of Product Marketing at Atlassian, and I'm thrilled to be your host today. Atlassian Presents Unleash is a one-day experience taking place right here, right now, in Berlin at the BCC. We're excited to bring in everyone who wasn't able to be here in person to this digital experience. So starting with the big picture, what is today about? Whether you're a product manager or an engineering leader, every product and platform team that uses Atlassian products will benefit from this fully immersive community experience. We'll explore practices and tools for collaborating across the entire software development lifecycle, from idea to impact. And as a reminder, the Keynote and the Devs Unleashed hackathon will be live streamed, followed by a live QA where you, the digital audience, can ask product experts questions. Everything that is not streamed today will be available on demand starting Monday, February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day. Now, before we move on, a couple housekeeping items. First, if you're watching me right now from a social media platform, make sure to log in at events.atlassian.com/unleash to enjoy the full digital experience. During the Devs Unleash segment, which will follow directly after the keynote, you'll be able to participate in the fun and cast your vote for the Player's Choice Award. Now, during the live Q&A, you can submit your questions using the Join QA and Polls function right above my video. Product experts are standing by to answer your questions live at the end of the program. And after this broadcast, please be sure to check out the Customer Showcase page to see customer stories and share your experience on the event feed. To help us get started today, Justine Davis, Claire Drummond, and Megan Cook will present our opening keynote on new ways to track insights and ideas in the discovery phase, ways to tighten security during the delivery phase, and ways to manage projects more efficiently using a few cheat codes we've added to Jira software. It's time to level up and enter a new era of multiplayer, multi-phase software development.
Please welcome to stage Atlassian's Head of Marketing, Agile and DevOps, Justine Davis.
Hello, Berlin, and the thousands of people who are on the video. Welcome to our inaugural Agile and DevOps conference. We appreciate all of you who traveled near and far to get here. But to kick us off, I'm actually going to tell you a personal story. And bear with me for a second, because it'll all make sense in a minute. My parents have an arcade room at their house. It's pretty cool. Weirdly enough, they made sure to put it in after I moved out, which makes total sense. It's almost like they didn't want me to have parties or something. I don't know. So anyways, I still get to play every time I'm over there. And they have one of those vintage all-in-one game consoles, like the ones that have Galaga and Pac-Man, Frogger, a million others. And then they also have a Tetris game, ping pong, shuffleboard, Mario Kart, you name it. And one of the things that my family and I really like to do is hang out in this arcade room. And we all gravitate towards different games. My oldest sister and I are really good at Tetris. My nephews and I are really crazy good at Mario Kart. And I'm also pretty good at strategy games like Pac-Man, solving a puzzle. And I've actually played Pac-Man so many times that I've memorized the maps. And I actually got a blister the last time I was playing, trying to show off to my son on the last go-around. But then one day when I was playing Pac-Man, their machine kind of started malfunctioning, and it zoomed in, and I could really only see part of the map. Which, for anybody who has played Pac-Man, when the map is zoomed in and the edges get cut off, it's a real unfair advantage for the ghosts. They just keep sneaking up and eating you. And because I didn't have that full picture, I could not win the game and advance to the next level. So as I was writing this keynote and trying to figure out what I was going to tell all of you fine folks, it got me thinking. Companies who focus on only optimizing developer productivity to improve their products are going to be like me playing Pac-Man. You're skilled at all the right things, you're incredibly talented, but you're dead at every turn. And because most companies start tracking software lifecycle productivity as the dev work starts. This is a big miss, you guys. You have to look at the full software development lifecycle, starting with the discovery phase. You have to do that to truly understand where your bottlenecks are and how you can improve performance. Just like I had to see that full picture in order to win the game of Pac-Man. So, to set the stage for today, I'd like to show you how the best software teams in the world think about the product and software lifecycle. I'm talking about the true masters of their craft. They come together to make truly great products to complete this complete software development lifecycle loop, and not just the developers working in the development phase. The discovery phase here is actually what most companies leave out of the equation. This is where product managers, researchers, designers, developers, you name it, decide what to build next. They pore over analytics, they hold user journey workshops, they brainstorm some more. They group ideas into themes. They prototype, they prioritize. And none of this is new. You might be sitting here thinking, duh, we do that all the time. It's been happening all along. We just didn't have a name for it. And actually, we were doing it all wrong. And yes, even Jira. Thousands of product managers have hacked Jira's backlog to be their place for product ideas. But I'm going to be honest with you, we never built it for that. So once these ideas turn into committed plans, that's when the delivery phase begins. This is probably the workflow that we're most familiar with, we usually track. It's when developers start committing code. They're dealing with repositories, builds, feature flags, and lots of other elements that feed into this. But that fun doesn't stop when the code goes live, because then you're moving on into the operations phase. This is when developers are collaborating with IT to monitor and manage the health of the software. They're using DevOps tools and practices to bring the builders and the operators together. And then everything, all that work, gets tied back to the overall product strategy and goals. And I want to be clear here, that loop is not linear. It's not a first you do delivery, first you do discovery, then you do delivery, and then you do operations. Because teams may have running software in production that they operate. They may be writing a spike to test a new feature. And they might be doubling down on a feature that tested successfully, and this might be happening all at the same time. And discovery, delivery, and operations are happening in parallel, iteratively. So as we visualize that loop, the discovery, delivery, and operations loop, you can see how teamwork flows through an organization, and it's real messy, guys. It's hard. And everyone in this room and on the video has tried to figure out how to get all of those teams that are doing that work in that loop to best collaborate. And first, there was this scary span of time when application production took about 3 years, or the application development crisis, as I like to call it. This is a span of time where many projects ended up being canceled partway, or even if they did finish, by the time they were done, it didn't even really meet the business needs anymore because it took so long. So then in came agile software development. And Agile software development has become so widely adopted that now some of you release thousands of times a day. You're no longer questioning whether you should adopt Agile. Instead, your questions have shifted. You want to know how you can scale Agile practices across your organization. Or you're wondering, how do I keep pace with Agile native, cloud native, everything native companies that are looking to disrupt you? Or maybe you are that disruptor who's trying to plan for scale from the very beginning. And at that same time, cloud technology advancements like responsiveness, scalability, and flexible infrastructure, coupled with culture and continuous improvement mindset that DevOps brings, have made that need for DevOps more and more urgent. They're really the magic duo for staying ahead of the curve. And you need practices that bring the people writing the software and operating the software closer together, and you need them now. But it's not hopeless. You have great ideas. You have great product managers. You have great developers. You have great designers. You have great data. You have great customer support. You just need to pull it all together. And I didn't fix that broken arcade machine by myself to see the full Pac-Man maze. I had to bring in someone who knew what they were doing so I could get back to crushing my family's high scores. I mean, having fun playing with my family. And you can leverage us. You can leverage the Agile and DevOps knowledge of Atlassian and our over 250,000 customers to be world-class. We can help. Atlassian is the only one making an open tool chain truly work across any tool, any team, and the entire software lifecycle. This means that designers, developers, product managers, and more get to do their work in the tool that they need to do their work in and that they want to use, and we'll bring it together. We collect all of the data flowing through all those tools from all those teams and all of the tools that are integrated with our tools to provide a complete view of that software development lifecycle. So you can connect the strategy to the goals and then feed it back to the next evolution of your product strategy. So we're going to cover 3 things today that will help you win the game of software development and give you that complete picture. And we're going to do it in the form of 3 of my favorite games: Pac-Man, Mario Kart, and Tetris. First, Claire Drummond, who is our head of marketing for Jira, will cover why only focusing on improving developer productivity will not make your products better. To do that, you also need to improve collaboration for product managers and designers in the discovery phase. Second, you'll get to see me again. We know there's nothing worse than an out-of-date Jira, a slow Jira, or a misconfigured Jira. It slows your progress, plus your developers straight up hate exiting their workflow to update Jira tickets. So I'm going to cover 5 ways you can be a hero for your development teams, starting with leveraging the power and flexibility of Jira from their repositories, their IDEs, their terminals, wherever they're doing work, so it doesn't break their flow. Third, Megan Cook, who's our head of product for Jira, will cover why it's impossible for one software vendor to solve for all the tools product teams need. Choosing just one vendor will hold your product teams hostage. It'll lock them out of innovation, and it'll hand better equipped competitors an advantage. You don't want that. She'll show you why betting on Atlassian gives you all the flexibility of a diverse, best-of-breed tool chain with the coordination of an all-in-one through our centralized DevOps platform. So let's get into it, shall we? Claire?
amazing. Look at this crowd. Thank you so much, Justine. I know personally that Justine is very competitive, so I'm very happy that I get to play on her team instead of against her. Speaking of playing as a team, did you guys like that transition? For far too long, designers, product managers, and marketers have existed on the fringe of software development. But I'm going to let you in on a not-so-secret secret. Building great products does not start with code. It starts with a great idea. But coming up with that idea, vetting it, making sure customers will love it, prioritizing it against all of the other great ideas, is an entire process of its own that happens long before a line of code is ever written. Yet vendors have been building solutions as if development teams were working on an island. And that, in turn, has kept developers disconnected from the why behind what they're building. The truth is, designers, product managers, and developers are constantly ideating, discovering, researching, and gathering insights for what to build next. But this work is often invisible. It's spread across spreadsheets, PowerPoints, whiteboards, or in the brains of your product managers, just to name a few places. I'm sure you all can relate to that. But that ends today. To truly level up your product development, you have to bring your adjacent and cross-functional teams along for the ride and closer to your product team. And you can't hold all of that great context and information in a place that nobody can find it. When we say Atlassian is building the only open tool chain that truly connects any team across any tool for the entire software development lifecycle, we really mean it. Engineering thought leaders are always talking about shifting left of code. Atlassian actually embeds these practices into our tools. For example, a designer can embed prototypes directly into Jira issues, communicating all of the specs clearly to their dev teams. This gives developers new visibility into how ideas were born and how prioritization decisions were made. But we still felt like there was a missing piece. Actually, more like a missing person. The product manager. How many of you are product managers out here? Raise your hands. Oof. You all have a really tough job. You're like Pac-Man, trying to eat all those little power cookies while the ghosts, Inky and Pinky, are chasing you down for a date for that next feature release, or explaining to Blinky why their feature request can't be prioritized first. Blinky's the sales team. Or responding to Clyde, the CEO, not Justine's son, to be clear, about the health of the business and your product strategy over the next year. You're so busy being chased by ghosts, there's barely any time to do the one thing that matters the most: building products that users love. We know that even with all of the best research and customer feedback, every feature you ship has risk. It's as much art as it is science. But the true art in your job as a PM is communicating all of that context in a concise way so that you can get to the next level. Delivering those new features, products, and services. That's what's really important. This process may seem like a lot of chaos, but it actually has a name. It's called product discovery, a continuous process that helps product teams deeply understand real customer problems before developing products that meet those needs, where discover, deliver, analyze, improve, and repeat. As a PM, your job is never done. We live in a world where your Tesla updates itself as you drive it. This is why Atlassian is building products to help with every stage of that journey, even the really messy ones. Today, I have the distinct pleasure of announcing our newest product from Atlassian's Accelerator program, Point A. That's the program, not the product, will be generally available in the coming months. The product is Jira Product Discovery. It has one of the highest customer satisfaction ratings of any Atlassian product, and I'm about to tell you why. So this is our product manager. Just for fun, let's call her Megan. She's building an important feature that is central to her company strategy, and everyone has an opinion, including me. Megan has a ton of customer data supporting her strategy, but it differs from the ideas of some of her internal stakeholders. And remember Blinky, the sales team? Sales team ghost? Well, they needed a feature yesterday, but Megan knows there's a critical blocker that needs to be resolved before they can even start development. She's trying to keep track of all of that data and input into spreadsheets, or maybe she configured the Jira backlog to do that. Mostly, she's trying to stay on top of communications with her stakeholders while pushing development of the feature forward. She's basically trying to play Pac-Man defense, but without the power cookie. Megan and all of you product managers out there, you are the ones that we are building this product for. It was designed to be your new home to ideate and prioritize product ideas. Everything can go in there, and you can communicate that to your stakeholders. So you can capture an idea, an opportunity, user pain point, solution, and refine it over time in a space that's dedicated for this type of work. In the spirit of multiplayer software development, we built Jira Product Discovery so stakeholders from all over the business can contribute. Salespeople can vote or comment on Megan's feature and provide their opinions. And CEOs can come in and offer their much valued feedback. So now that Megan has a bunch of well-researched ideas, she needs to make sense of it all. She can create as many list views as she likes that make it easy to compare her ideas based on criteria like goals, level of effort, votes, or customer impact. Custom formulas make Jira Product Discovery as powerful as Excel, but visually friendly so you can share all of that with your stakeholders. Megan can sort and filter lists with roll-ups, weighted scores, or regular expressions to combine data from fields in Jira Product Discovery or third-party apps. For even better prioritization, Megan can switch to the matrix view to analyze ideas according to impact versus effort, impact versus risk, or any other way you want to slice and dice it. This means you can quickly identify which ideas are your big rocks. And you can go at them faster than Pac-Man can eat a cherry on level 1. The trouble is, there are a bunch of other people who are going to want to know how all of this shakes out, of course. Sales wants to know when that hot new feature will be live. Megan's boss wants to know everything that's coming down the pipeline for the next 2 quarters. This used to be the pain point where a product manager would go pour a giant cup of coffee and maybe a little whiskey in it and resign themselves to spending half a day creating slide decks that explain everything. The good news is those days are gone. Jira Product Discovery takes all of the pressure off product managers by making it dead simple to create roadmaps you can share with your stakeholders so you can tell the right story to the right people at the right time. They'll see what's coming when, but just as important, they'll see why. All the reasoning, the context, the data behind Megan's decisions are captured right there. And because you can track both discovery and delivery all in Jira, the roadmap is always up to date. based on all of the work that's progressing in Jira software. That means no more editing 10 roadmaps manually and making sure stakeholders always have the latest information. We give Megan a bunch of different ways to create roadmaps so she can tell the right story. She can organize them by goal for the leadership team, by assignee for the engineering team, or by customer for the sales team. And they don't even have to be a Jira user to see it. She can just use a public share link on any roadmap to give them access. And remember how Justine kept losing at Pac-Man, which she hates? Well, she couldn't see the whole game map. Those little ghosts were sneaking up on her and eating her, kind of like dependencies and bottlenecks sneaking up and killing your momentum. Well, we've made it easier to avoid that situation. Megan can pull up any roadmap into a timeline view to see roughly how long each item will take and which items might overlap, so she can spot bottlenecks and dependencies before they become a problem. Megan now has the right tool built for her specific needs as a product manager, but now she needs a way to show how her ideas are contributing to their shared goals. Companies achieve the best outcomes when every team is rowing in the same direction. But this requires alignment and a shared understanding of what they're collectively trying to achieve. So that's why our vision is to bring goals to every Atlassian cloud product. Powered by Atlas, you can now connect the dots across every product in your company and show teams how their work is contributing to shared outcomes in the apps they're already using to suit every team's preferred ways of working. So the flow is like this. You've registered a goal in Atlas. Then you assess ways to hit the goal, aka the ideas that you were collecting in Jira Product Discovery. You prioritize a few, and you create projects for them in Atlas that are linked to their corresponding ideas in Jira Product Discovery. Because Jira Product Discovery is built on Jira, you can now seamlessly connect your ideas in the discovery phase to your development tasks in Jira software. And your marketing tasks to market the feature in Jira Work Management. So you can go from idea to delivery for all teams with a click of a button. Companies who want to top the leaderboard need to invest in this type of alignment. And we know times are tight. Over a third of CIOs expect their budget to be flat or down in 2023, which is why we want to share some more exciting news to help make it easier to get your teams aligned. Jira Work Management is included with every Jira software license for all 35,000 users until 2024 for free. Yeah, love that. Best response. I hear you all chatting. I hope it's about the fact that you never have to spend, not never, through 2024, spend another penny on additional project management software for your business teams. Everything you need is already connected to the same industry-leading security that powers Jira software. Now all of the insights collected during the discovery phase are shared with the development team that's already in Jira software and the marketing team that is now using Jira Work Management. And your progress on those delivery tasks are surfaced right inside of Jira Product Discovery. This work shows up in your Atlas goals, which rolls up to the executive view of your business performance in Jira Align. It's a complete loop. So I just took you through 3 advancements that we've made to the Jira suite of products that give every team the right tool for them. Now I'm going to toss it back to Justine, who's going to give you some secrets for how to win at Mario Kart while also maybe telling you how to speed up your product delivery. Thank you so much. Are you? Get it, girl.
All right, thanks, Claire. Can we have another round of applause for free Jira work management and Jira product discovery? So Claire just walked you through how Atlassian is the only one making an open tool chain truly work across any tool and any team in the software delivery cycle of the discovery phase. So now we're going to move on to how we can speed up the delivery part of that loop. And I'm going to tell you a story again. In college, we would play Mario Kart when I got home from the bars with my roommates. We actually called it drunk driving. But don't worry, I was safe at home in my living room, sitting on the floor, just playing a video game and playing Mario Kart. And my roommates and I were pretty competitive. So I had to get a leg up to beat them. And I had to learn all the secret shortcuts for the game. Like when you play this level that is Wario Stadium, you can actually jump the wall, and it makes you get automatically in first and cuts your time in half. And then there's another level called Koopa Troopa Beach, where you can actually jump a ramp through a waterfall, and it gets you in first and cuts your time in half. So just like in Mario Kart, there are secrets and shortcuts to speeding up the delivery phase. And I didn't learn these tricks in Mario Kart on my own, and neither should you. Use us. There's nothing worse than sitting in a sprint review, staring at an out-of-date Jira, or worse, a slow Jira. We've heard your feedback. So we've been diligently working on lowering average load times across key experiences in Jira. And we've actually decreased load times by 18% in this year alone, and we're not going to be stopping. So we've made improvements, but if you are an admin in this audience or on the video, there are also things that you can do to speed up your Jira game. And I'm going to cover 5 tips today. So the first tip to become a hero for your development teams is to encourage them to engage with Jira to keep it up to date without actually going into Jira. Jira should be a system of record for developers, not a system of engagement. You want your developers focused on developing software. You don't want them finishing a story and then reporting that they finished a story. We know developers hate getting pinged to update tasks for daily stand-ups. So let them spend their day in their chat or their IDE or their terminal or their code repositories. Just have them include that Jira issue key in their development tasks like commits or pull requests or deployments, and Jira will update itself. They can even bring Jira into their IDE so they can transition a ticket or create a branch connected to a ticket, and they can do this all from their IDE and VS Code. You can also set up automation for your developers so that they can stay in the tools where they want to spend their time. They can leverage automation to get notifications in Slack from Jira and then transition the tickets on the spot right in Slack. They can update their Jira status every time a pull request is opened or merged, or close duplicated issues filed for bug fixes. The possibilities with automation are really endless, and it's your playground. Developers don't have to spend the time and pain manually updating all of these tickets just to keep the team up to date. Jira automation is kind of like the equivalent of getting a star that makes you go faster or a mushroom that makes you grow bigger so that you can go faster in Mario Kart. And if you're an admin, to create, edit, or delete automation rules, you actually need to be a global admin. So just keep that in mind when you're going and looking to install these power-ups. So now on to my second tip, our shiny new command palette in Jira. Have you ever run a stand-up and it's painful because you know developers just want to get out of that meeting? Their eyes are watching you navigate Jira, struggling to find the right tickets to assign to them, navigate to the wrong view of your instance, click too many times to find a ticket. Next time, just open up the command palette by pressing Command K. This will help you navigate Jira and update your issue without even clicking. It can do a whole lot of things. It could even change it to Jira's dark theme, which we now have. And I know I hate staring at white screens at night too, so I already have it installed, and a sneak peek of this capability is coming soon to Jira Labs. So my third tip to get more high fives from your developers is to leverage the power of JQL. JQL stands for Jira Specific Query Language. It's designed to allow developers and you to search issues using complex refinements in Jira effortlessly. So as an example, you can imagine I'm a developer, and I would like to search an instance that has 14.4 million issues in a project called Justine is Awesome. In order to see all the issues assigned to me or to Claire, with the status to do, ordered by priority, but I don't want to see the ones that are in an open sprint. And we seriously have a Jira instance that has that many issues, 14.4 million. With basic search, your developers will be hitting up IT to buy them a new laptop because they smashed it after repeated attempts. However, with JQL, this is effortless. Combining the power of JQL with Jira's custom filters, developers and you can really increase efficiency and find what you're looking for. So now I'm on to my fourth tip. I hate to say this, but in my job, I get the privilege of looking at how people set up Jira and configure it on a regular basis. And sometimes there's room for improvement, which is probably why you all are here today, to help learn how. What if you didn't have to set them up? I mean, you could ask 100 teams how they set up their workflows, and you'll get 100 different answers. And this isn't a bad thing. What if you could copy workflows from teams and companies who have already been there, done that? So your next Jira project is set up correctly from the get-go for your developers. We did just that. We invited our customers to become honorary members of the Jira product team. And they created their own custom templates that they use that you can go and snag. Like Lumen, who scaled from 100 to 7,500 people when they completed a cloud migration with Jira Software, Jira Line, and Confluence. Their template already has multi-cloud, automation, and marketplace add-ons already baked in for the taking. Or usertesting.com. Their template is a custom workflow for incorporating direct customer feedback for user research with Jira Product Discovery, Jira Software, user testing, and Figma. So what I'm saying is, don't fix what's not broken. We take care of setting up all the workflows, the permission screens, the automations, and integrations behind the scenes so you can start tracking issues in record time. And to get there, you just have to select it at Atlassian.com from our template gallery or inside your Jira project. So my last tip is actually about release management. Back in the day when we had codes that were monolithic code bases, it was like, well, does all the code in the monolith work? If yes, release the Kraken, which is a very popular meme if you ever look at developer humor on Reddit. And now releases are curated based on which bits and pieces are ready to go. Release readiness isn't binary anymore. It's a spectrum. And a good release isn't just about deploying code and saying, well, job's done for today. To get ready for a really great release, especially for a big launch, there's typically a go, no-go meeting, and it becomes a co-op multiplayer game. This happens between developers, making sure that they're ready to release the features, between marketers, making sure that they're ready to market the feature and start their campaigns, customer support, making sure that they're ready to field questions about the feature. But it's really hard to bring all of those teams together. Trust me, I do it on a regular basis. We feel that pain too. And one of our company values at Atlassian is be the change you seek. So we decided to do something about it. So rolling out in Jira software today, you will see progressive delivery capabilities within the Release Hub. Progressive delivery is really a place where cross-functional teams can come and execute and plan against a release. They can have effective go, no-go meetings actually right within the Release Hub in Jira software. We've created an environment that ensures clarity over the development tasks that are shipping in one place. And teams can collaboratively plan on what needs to be done instead of a really last-minute go, no-go meeting that catches product marketers like myself off guard. And here you can see the team plan what assets and dashboards need to be prepared before the release and assign which people need to own them. Anyone can get a clear view of how far along the development process is. You can see what's in staging or production, or what's sitting behind a feature flag rolling out to customers right now. And notice, developers are not in here updating this. They're still in their IDE or their terminal or they're running builds, and all of this is happening automatically, updating the rest of the team in Jira software. So now as it becomes clear what will be released, your teams can actually generate release notes automatically from here as well. You just click to pull in all the relevant information from the Jira issue, save the notes as is, or you can toss it on over into Confluence if you need to do some editing before you post. So coming soon, you'll see a progress tracker in here as well that will show release readiness based on issue status, tasks, reviews, and we'll also capture review sign-offs against releases. So teams can really feel comfortable knowing they have that check mark to release and knowing they have all the approvals in one place. This is a really massive power-up for teams that are curating releases, and it's live today. So now I'm going to toss it over to Megan, who you heard so much about in Claire's section. Megan?
Thanks, Justine. I'm really excited about how we're powering up our releases. All this talk of curating and piecing things together has me thinking of Tetris. Raise your hand if you've ever played Tetris before. Oh yeah, super fun, right? Tetris was one of the first games I ever played, and it just made me completely fall in love with video games. But for the very, very few of you who haven't played, here's the deal. Blocks of all different shapes and colors fall from the sky into a pit, and then you fit them together to form complete rows. Everything moves down, and the whole game board shifts and changes all the time. The music is just classic. I couldn't play the exact music today due to IP laws, but here is something that is the same vibe, takes me right back. And what really makes Tetris so addictive is that you're forming this order out of complete chaos. And today's software is highly modular, which means that teams Tetris things together all the time. And I mean that in a really good way. We pull releases together based on which features are ready to go, and those are based on shared microservices with new code sitting on top. Even building a toolchain is like Tetris, but instead of fitting those shapes together to clear out complete rows, you're fitting tools together to clear out pieces of work. Software teams are no longer just a few developers writing code in a basement. Like when I think about our product teams at Atlassian, I think about developers for sure, but I also think about product managers, marketers, build engineers, site reliability engineers, technical writers, researchers, designers. I could just keep going on and on and on. The entire company is lining up to support developers, and that makes software development level up to multiplayer mode. You're all working towards the same goal, but each person contributes something a little unique, something a little different. Each person needs the autonomy to use the best tools for their craft. But it's no good when all the tools live in silos, totally disconnected from each other. If you've been in the business a while, then you played this game before, and you know that it is just no fun. No one software vendor can solve for all the tools your teams need, and anyone who says they can is either misguided or maybe over-indexing on the developer collaboration. And that leaves all of those roles that I talked about before, quality engineers, site reliability engineers, product managers, they all get left out in the cold. We want software teams to collaborate, not just cooperate. We want software teams to feel empowered, not enforced upon. Software teams need tool chains that are connected so everyone's work can stay tightly aligned. And you know, the problem is that Tetrising together a tool chain isn't nearly as satisfying as playing the game, because you're probably working with pieces that look like this. Super complicated, very hard to fit together. And so much of the market is trying to solve this by getting you to buy all of your tools from one vendor. But then you end up with only a few pieces and only a few ways that they can fit together. And so there's not a lot of room for customization for the specific needs of your organization. Inevitably, your tool chain will have gaps, and that makes it really hard to ship work out to your customers. So then you think, well, why not create our own tool chain? That's definitely a better direction, but it's easier said than done. At first, you'll have something that, works well enough. But over time, you just start spending more and more and more time just trying to keep it alive. In fact, we found the average organization dedicates about 10% of development time just to toolchain maintenance. And 78% of organizations have 2 or more toolchains. So you do the math, it's just an unwinnable game. Which is why we are committed to making an open toolchain truly work across any team, any tool, across the entire software development lifecycle. If your team is using Jira software, our open DevOps framework gives you the best of both worlds. You get the flexibility to create a custom toolchain and the seamless coordination of an all-in-one. It's like in Tetris, when you get that one piece that just shoots you up to the next level. With Open DevOps, you Tetris your toolchain together using tools that already integrate with Jira. So think Bitbucket, GitLab, CircleCI, Datadog, JFrog, LaunchDarkly, and about 40 other tools that your team probably already uses. Atlassian and our partners, they've done all of the heavy lifting for you in the back end. So as an admin, all you do is click a few buttons and the pieces are connected. So now we are onto something. Everyone on the software team is using the tools that suit their work best, and all these tools are talking to each other. At Atlassian, we call this work differently, build together, which when you think about it, is kind of what DevOps is all about. But we haven't truly explored DevOps without talking about security. The development and security team relationship can be a little more combative rather than collaborative. And that's because developers have been burnt by security scans that come back with all of these false positives and inaccurate results. They result in these wild goose chases that take up all this time that could be used to build new features. And the security team, they have the company and the customer's best interests at heart. They do find security vulnerabilities, and they need to get prioritized into the backlog as well. And so the multiplayer experience ends up looking like this. As with any strained relationship, better communication goes a long way. Translating security vulnerabilities into the context of the developer code is no easy feat, but speaking that same language is vital. And that's where Jira Software's new security tab comes in. It's available today in private beta. When security teams run a scan in a tool like Sneak, developers will see any concerns surfaced right there inside of Jira. So then they can assess their security vulnerabilities and select which ones they want to go ahead and remediate. Jira Software and Sneak do all of the heavy lifting. The team can associate those vulnerabilities with issues and then assign issues in the security tab. Then they can triage the results together with important information like when did the vulnerability get introduced, what type is it, and how severe is it? So now, the multiplayer experience looks much more like this. Developers and security analysts can focus their conversation on resolving the issues instead of sifting through a million false positives that ruthlessly suck up security, time, budget, and resources. So we're bringing some pretty good game here, helping development and security work better together by partnering with the best in the industry. This isn't just about checking a box. This is going to significantly change the way your teams work for the better. Now, let's level up again with some DevOps health action. So raise your hand if you're planning to move from a monolithic application to microservices. Not many, not many. I'm going to go with like 5% of the room, maybe. Let's see again. Raise your hand if you have already adopted microservices and have, we're getting more now, have hundreds, or we're actually more into the thousands. Like Mike Trier, our head of platform. Hey, Mike, we did not tell you were going to be in this. But Mike's got a really hard job, and we really appreciate what he does. So for all the Mikes out there, raise your hand if you're responsible for improving the developer experience in your organization, like building effective tool chains and selecting the tools. Awesome. OK, this is for you. So modern software is no longer written, it's assembled. There has been a shift in application architecture from monoliths to microservices, and that's brought a whole host of new challenges for developer teams. Netflix's first monolithic decomposition project resulted in 700 microservices. For Uber, it was 500. And today at Atlassian, for our cloud portfolio alone, we're talking about over 1,500 microservices. So how do your developers track application architecture at that scale? And how do they collaborate to understand the ownership, dependencies, and the health of all of these components? Last year, we introduced Compass in beta, one of our newest products from Atlassian's Point A program. And trying to track application architecture without a compass feels like when you get to that advanced level of Tetris. The music speeds up, and your heart rate, it tries to match it. It gets to 160 beats per minute. Yes. Just like that. You get that one piece wrong, and it opens up a gap, and the other pieces, though, they're coming way too fast. The whole thing fills up, they fall faster and faster. It's almost game over, and you're just dripping in stress. Or it could just be me that gets to that dripping stage. But anyway, look, we don't want you to feel that kind of panic, because we're truly committed to making an open toolchain work across any tool, any team, across the entire software development lifecycle. And so we launched Compass. Compass is 3 things. The first is a component catalog. And this was inspired by the developer portal that we had to create for ourselves and our developer teams. As your engineering organization scales and the individual components become widely distributed across those teams, no one can keep that all in their head. So the component catalog has information on the teams that own and collaborate around the components and a dependency map between the different services. When your developer teams come together to do a retrospective and think about how they want to plan the next sprint, they've got the full picture. So they can strike that right balance between building new features or addressing technical debt. And that will also really help when you estimate developer time in that discovery phase that Claire mentioned earlier. It's like that little box in Tetris that tells you which piece is coming next, but it's on steroids. The second is a DevOps health tool. There are well-known best practices for DevOps in a you build it, you run it sort of world. And each team is learning these through extremely painful trial and error. And so our goal with Compass is to massively speed up that learning curve. Compass's health tool provides scorecards to codify these best practices. Our open toolchain approach crowdsources all of this data across your toolset. So for code, CI/CD, observability, incident management, and security. And this provides a single pane of glass, which gives this holistic view across all of your components and their health. And so to ensure resiliency, scale, performance, and security, a set of scorecards is used to measure and evaluate component health continuously so your developers can take action at the earliest sign of any problem. And the third is an extensibility engine. With Compass's extensibility engine, developers can fork, extend, and completely customize Compass's UI through various extension points to make Compass your developer experience portal. This is all using the Forge developer platform. So, I want to leave you with the Guinness World Book of Records highest score for Tetris, which was done by Joseph Saley. He got over 1.3 million points. And you can reach equally unprecedented levels of mastering the complexity of your organization's distributed software architecture with Compass. But it'll take you a hell of a lot less time than it took Joseph. I'll say it again. No matter where you are in your DevOps journey, you need a compass. So that's it, everyone. Justine, Claire, and I talked about how to win the game in software development, and we just showed you how Atlassian is the only one making an open toolchain truly work across discovery, delivery, and operations phases of a software lifecycle. Thank you very much.
We're back. What a great keynote to kick us off today. We learned that software development is a game you will lose without optimizing delivery, discovery, and the operation phases together. Atlassian is the operating system to run a world-class agile software company through those three phases. Next up, we will head over to our first ever Devs Unleashed hackathon. Atlassian put out the call for all teams to build a game that leverages data from Atlassian SaaS products using Atlassian Forge and REST APIs. Today, right now, the top 3 teams go head-to-head in front of a panel of celebrity judges for the chance to win the $35,000 grand prize. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Please welcome to stage executive producer and star of ABC's Shark Tank, CEO of Cideris, Robert Hedgebeck.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming. I love going to a conference where people drink beer during the conference. So welcome, everyone, to Devs Unleashed. Yeah? I'm Robert Herjavec from Shark Tank. I'm also a Jira customer. Any Jira customers out there? A couple? I just found out backstage I'm not using it enough to its potential, so I'm hoping to learn more. I'm also thrilled to be the lead judge for our Devs Unleashed competition. Throughout their 20-year history, Atlassian's held innovation as a key component to achieve their mission to unleash the potential in every team. Atlassian put out the call for teams to unleash their creativity and create a working software application, building a game that leverages data from Atlassian products such as Jira, Bitbucket, and Forge in the fun, interesting ways that we're going to get to see today. And we've had over 70 submissions. Today, we have 3 finalists who will be judged on visual appeal, sound design, wow factor, fun, and the use of Atlassian products. First place wins $35,000. Which will be given to you as beer vouchers. No, I'm joking, cash. Second place takes home $20,000, and third place receives $12,000. But before we meet the teams, let's meet my fellow judges. Head of Engineering, Agile, and DevOps at Atlassian, Robert Krohn. Robert? Yeah? I think that was your team applauding for you back there. Senior Program and Operations Manager at Spotify, Nora Beresky. Nora? Welcome. Chief Revenue Officer at Atlassian, Cameron Deach. And where is he? There he is. Hello, Cameron. I love how Cameron did the dramatic slow walk. And Senior Developer Advocate at Slack, Jeremiah Peoples. Welcome. Jeremiah was in the Air Force, but he was not a pilot. You don't have to ask him that. Now, we've asked each team to prep a 10-minute pitch that includes a demo of their game. After their pitch, the judges will have 5 minutes of Q&A with the team. Once all 3 teams have pitched, judges will have 5 minutes to deliberate and choose a winner. With that, let's unleash the developers and meet the teams. Our first team is all about motivating teammates to stay on top of their work. In this game, players advance to the next level based on the state of Jira issues in the Jira board. Please welcome Team Ticket Adventures. Welcome, guys.
Hello, everybody. We're very happy to be here. We are Ticket Adventures. My name is Paula. And we are just half of the team. So just run straight. So we are 2 developers, 1 PM, 1 cat. So who's doing the presentation? The PM, of course. We're from Chile, and this is the first time we're here in Germany. So again, very happy to be here. Thank you. So we decided to make a very simple game in the way you play it, but it's complex in the integrations with the Atlassian products. It's a very side-scrolling 2D game like Mario Brothers, so I thought it was important, well, we thought it was important that everybody could just jump straight into playing it without having to learn exactly how to play it. And we also focus on having each adventure or each stage based on the progress each developer or any member of the team has in their current board. So the more you work on a project and update your tickets, the game's going to be easier. You're going to get more rewards, and if you're not working that hard, if you're late, the game will be harder. That was, yeah. So, I don't know, work hard. And why? Well, like I said, developer, PM. So back home, we talk back and forth about things, projects. Yeah, I know, we're nerds. And it's a struggle for the PMs. Like, Jira is a great product, but sometimes people forget to update the tickets. I get to the daily, and there people say, oh, yeah, I did that. Let me just close it. Why? It's hard. So we thought, OK, we want to make a game that's fun, but like I said, not far removed from a project. So it's very, very linked. And so that you don't have that much fun playing, you have to have more fun doing your actual work. I know. And that would make my job and every PM jobs easier, but also rewarding the developers. We included, and Gustavo is going to talk a bit more about that, but we included rewards in the game that should be real 3D in life rewards, so that you get real motivation besides just keeping your PM happy. So in this first iteration, we included Jira and Confluence. So like I said, every part of your progress in your board is reflected in the game. You have bugs, you have blockers, but Gustavo is going to show you the technical part. Once you finish, you get a leaderboard in Confluence so you can share with your teams and everyone outside the project, so that your progress is not just related or restricted to a project, but can be shared outside. So you can share that in your company or, well, with your friends. So now Gustavo is going to do the demo for you. I'm going to.
All right.
OK, so we will go through two scenarios to show you the power of ticket adventures. So the first one, I call it the project manager's ideal, because we have only one ticket in progress, a lot of tickets done, not a lot of bugs or late issues, so everything looks nice. And now let's open Ticket Adventures. So the game is integrated with the user profile. So if you have an avatar, you can see your face there. You can also see the name of the project, which is important, because if you are in many projects, each project will be different depending on your progress. The game will be different. So we have 6 tasks done, and we also do not only consider if the task is done or not done. We also recognize which kind of task is, if it is a task, a story, or an epic. And on the other side, we identify if it is a bug, a blocker, or it is a late ticket. All of that goes to a complex and boring algorithm that generates the stage for you. OK, so you must step on the box, not touch it, or you will lose. You will start again if you touch a bug. So, by the way, it says Don, not John. Many people think it says John, but no. Yeah, it's kind of hard. And the hero had your face. See that green avatar? OK. John. OK. So after finishing, you see your score. Thank you. OK, of course it failed, but let me show you. Let me show you the second one. Yeah, you're very lucky that it failed, because I played the game like 2,000 times and failed once. But OK, let's go to the second project. So this one is different, because we can see many late issues, more bugs on it. So now the game will be harder. Let's see if I can finish it this time. Yeah, I created it, but sometimes it gets very hard. So yeah. Yeah, please. Yeah, so we see much more difficult one.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, it is very hard.
Yeah. that happens when you're late.
Yeah. No, I should close some tickets. Actually, I can't finish this. Come on.
Go.
Let's go!
Woo!
Can do it. You there?
Ah!
Yeah! Woo!
Okay.
Okay, here is the leaderboard in Confluence, and it is cool because we are using the mentioning tool, so you will receive an email, and as the leaderboard lives outside the game, everyone that's watching it can see it, and any other applications can integrate using the same forge with this, because the data is not in the game, but outside. So now back to Paula.
Okay. So this was our first game, so first we had a lot of fun doing this. And for next iterations, we would like to give more power to the PM so that as a project manager, you can select when the leaderboard will be published, when people will be able to see the score, for example, also giving different scores to tickets in different projects if they're more important or not. And then also add real prizes, like we said. So you can have incentives inside your company, so you can have a lot of friendly competition, or maybe not that friendly. The reward is cool. And that's what we were like aiming to, but well, time limitations. But yeah, I hope you enjoy our game, so thank you.
Thank you. All right. All right. I just have one question. When you were doing the game and you fell behind, you automatically got a second project manager. Yeah. Is that like the real world where you just get, when you fall behind, they give you more developers and more project managers? No. Okay. All right. Thank you, Ticket Adventures. That was a great pitch. I think you deserve a toast.
Thank you.
Cheers, cheers, cheers. All right, let's hand it over to our judges for questions. Robert, let's start with you.
So at the beginning of the game, you look at the board and then you populate the game based on that board. Is that how it works?
Yes.
So what if something happens while you're playing? Do you have any real-time interaction? Let's say someone moves an issue.
Yeah, no, it is picking the status at the beginning, the current state, and based on that, it's generating the levels.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you.
What's the application of this in real life? Do you guys play it at sprint review, or is it like a once sprint?
Yeah, we did it first in a Kanban project. So the idea is move to the next steps so that the project manager can decide if you want to rate this in Kanban or sprint, basically to see where you will reward your team.
Nice. I like it. It's practical.
Thank you.
Cameron?
I'd love to hear on the iconography. You know, like come up with a bunch of new cool, these are not part of Atlassian design guidelines, by the way.
Yeah. Cameron, are these your colors?
Yeah, it's unique to Task Adventures. It's very cool, or Ticket Adventures. What is the late issue? Is it the little triangle? Is that a pile of poo?
Yeah. Spikes.
Spikes, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was, yeah.
Yeah, we used your Figma components collection as an inspiration of this.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's a fun story because I came with this idea of, yeah, let's use Jira elements as part of the map, and I just went to the Figma, copy and pasted the thing on the game, and was like, no, this will not work. We needed to style this a bit, right? So,
Love it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
First off, the game is very well done, so congrats on that. But where would you get where or who is responsible for the design of like the soundtrack?
Very well done.
Thank you.
Jeremy, did you like the sound, or are you saying you didn't like it?
I heard a sneak peek of the sound yesterday, and I've been dancing to it in my head.
Yeah, many people are saying that it repeats in their heads
It's very
many
catchy,
times.
yeah.
Yeah, it was me. No, not a creative mind. Me plus AI, because there's a website, an application called VoiceMod, and they have this small tool where you just give the text, and then it plays the sound and adds the lyrics for you.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But sound.
Yeah, shout out for the VoiceMod teams because this is free, and I send them an email.
in case there's any issue with, no, go and use it.
Yeah.
This is totally open and free. It is tuna.voicemod.com.
Wow.
Not sponsored.
So I don't know if you realize this, but Camera now owns all your graphics. Like that's part of coming here. Do you see it purely as a game, or do you see it being able to use as a training tool for new project managers?
I think it can be both, mostly because of the motivation it has. Like I said, it's sometimes hard when you're a PM and you just have to be the ticket nanny for people. So I think that also having this motivation could work as a training tool, maybe to notice when things are starting to get delayed so you can get ahead and say, okay, this project might be getting late again. Or for developers too, so that they get a pace and a rhythm in order to keep their tickets updated.
Wow.
And it is harder than it looks, because someone that does everything okay, then we also must offer a fun experience for him, right? So it is the discussion, okay, how hard do we make this for people that is up to date, and how impossible to people who's late, right? So finding that balance is really, really, really challenging.
But isn't being a project manager reward enough?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, listen, great job again. Congratulations. Thank you. So, thank you, Ticket Adventures. You guys can leave the stage. You have to go now. We're going to bring out the next team. All right, that was really cool. I love the graphics, Cameron. Didn't you love the colors and everything?
Beautiful.
Beautiful, yeah. That's our biggest issue, by the way, with tickets. People don't close them. They resolve them, and they leave them open, and then I get a tracking report at the end of the month. I'm like, what the hell? Why do we have so many outstanding? Anyway, I'm going on. Anyway, nothing brings teams together like food or beer. Team Tasky Treaty combines passion for food and streamlined projects into a cooking simulation game that is purposely casual, easy to play, but hard to master. Please welcome Team Tasky Treaty. Welcome.
What's for dinner tonight?
Hey, honey, that depends. Have you done the task I assigned to you? Well, just kidding. We are all going to have amazing treats for the tasks we do. Good afternoon, Berlin. Hi, all. We are Tasky Treaty team. I, Tushita, the game producer of Tasky Treaty, Abhishek, the game programmer, and two of our lovely artists, Elizaveta and Ruchira, who are not here. Don't worry, they are alive. They have done an amazing work with the artwork. So, work, mood or no mood, but better with the food, right? Think of it as your teams and you just walking into a burger place and having a chill out time, where each burger represents the sprint goals. Few of the games that I'm sure we all know are our inspirations. So, Tasky Treaty is a 2D casual game exclusively made for Atlassian products, and it's quite simple to play, and you have to do your tasks, update the Jira board, and then play the game. So your scores are on the leaderboard, and you can hope to have a lunch with the CEO. It can also be playable in the smallest screen space, such as Confluence. And these are our game mechanics, which is like it's efficiently time managing game. You have to prepare and serve it, and get your high scores on the leaderboard. Our art direction and music is purposely kept subtle. So you'll see lots of shades of pinks, blues, hues, and purples, and with awesome music. So it's very conducive to the working environment. And just like all of us, our game characters are diverse. We have tried to be as inclusive as possible and enabling LGBTQIQ freedom as well. And just like all of us again, they have multiple emotions. So they are happy, sad, frustrated, anxious, and sometimes indecisive. And watch out for our surprise characters as well. So let's go and just play.
Can we switch to the thing? So let's say we are at the beginning of a sprint where few of our tasks are actually done, mostly in to-do, and rest is, yeah, in progress.
So let's go. Do watch out for the pro tips which actually educate the player, and it's like it helps with the player journey.
I hope it loads. It's the Wi-Fi, it's the Wi-Fi. Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow, it's never happened that a live demo doesn't work.
This is all live.
Yeah.
The demo gods.
You can watch the loading screen, and it's the beautification of that till then.
I don't know, we try here.
Who's the professional actor?
They're still fighting over it. Yeah, all right.
Yes!
So the characters come one by one because we have a lot of tasks to do. That's why it's complex burgers. You really need to know how to play this in the first place there. And then you have the coffee machine, so you click on them, and yeah, the coffee mug, it goes to the coffee machine, and then you can just drag them and throw them on the customer's face. Watch out for the expressions. You have a time over on the top, that's the session time, how long this session is going to continue. And once you serve the customers well, they give you points, which gets added to the score upstairs. That's pretty much the game loop. Huh? All right, so let's go back to the slides then. Or Tushita is really enjoying. So
Ooh.
And yeah, the resources run out after some time, so you have to be very good with the Confluence task and Bitbucket tasks. And once the timer gets over, you get a score followed by your leaderboard. And if you have done well, then you are on the top of the leaderboard. I think I have to kill the addiction here. Can we go back to the slides, please? Yeah, I think we didn't close the game. Somewhere it's running. Oh, no, it's fine. Okay. So Tasky Treaty is a base Forge app. It's made with Phaser 3, a 2D game engine, and it integrates all of the 4 products in Atlassian that we could figure out, and it's also integrated with Slack. So the magic formula, what we kind of try to do is we have a sprint performance by a team. It's a function of the to-do lists, the in progress, and the done. So basically your sprints mirror kind of goes in as a sprints performance for the team. And then every user's performance on how well he or she is performing in that sprint kind of gives them their matrix, their numbers, which kind of helps them progress in the game better and get a higher score. A little bit detail of the game design is to go through this chart, but we are not going to go into details. Anyways, the project is kind of progressing. So when you have a lot of tasks to do, then you have only one customer coming in, so less chance of you getting a high score. Versus when you have 0 to do, then you have like 3 customers coming in. It's all linearly progressed. And then based on the user's performance, they kind of get score multipliers, or the difficulty of the burger changes according to that. So one of the scenarios could be something like this. So let's say you are 40% done with the sprint. Over there, the team has progressed kind of in the 40% zone. So like day 4, you have around 1.x moving speed for the customers. You have 7 tasks to do. And the users, someone is doing better, someone is not doing so great. And according to that, they kind of get the score multipliers, which will affect them. So they are always motivated to do something for the team. And whatever they do for the team kind of gets added to the game's macro design. And towards the end of the game, you have a perfect situations where all the teammates can just go in and enjoy the game because they don't have much of to do. Yeah, so it's integrated with Confluence. So again, the same principle. We try to keep it very simple so that it's a team and users. There's less confusion. So the team spaces added, or pages and blogs, they kind of give you more bonus time to play the game. And the user comments and the user-generated contents gives them the resources and brings in the resource management. So you can run out of ketchup, and you can't serve a customer with ketchup because you didn't do much of Confluence comments. With Bitbucket, kind of the same principle. This time the commits, pull requests, and branches creation, and all those things. And they all keep getting added to the resources. So we have an infinite pool of resources and infinite things to do in Jira, and they are kind of together. That makes sense. With Slack, so once you get a high score, you achieve unlock achievement, or you beat the top 3 contestant. In that case, you can boost in Slack. It's still a text, but we are working on getting the images of the leaderboard up in Slack. Next up, with Ops Genie, so instead of getting the alerts and then making it a Jira ticket, we thought of creating and pushing it as a push notification. So daily, using the Forge schedule trigger, we are triggering event in Ops Genie as level 5 priority alert, like as information. That, somebody has played the game 15 hours a day. And it's also indication for the project managers and leaders and the teammates that somebody is really addicted. So we can also keep a check on that. Quite an easy flow. So everything gets loaded at front, Jira, Confluence, Bitbucket data. And then you have the game session, leaderboard, and then instant new game. So the player's experience is not interrupted in any ways. Some implementation examples. We are not going to go in details here, but we have used JQL, Forge clients, and storage, and Bitbucket, and some more Confluence, GraphQL, and CQLs. That's all. So let's go back to the game and have more fun. Can we go to the demo scenes?
All right, less than a minute.
So by now you have actually kind of finished.
No? Okay.
You have moved to the done part. You have more done, and you have so the player experience is that it's best at this level. You have customers coming at a faster speed, and then you have sufficient time to serve them all. And this kind of, we also have like special characters like the dog, and there is one rich lady, she looks like a queen, and she comes and tips you more. So we kind of had these special characters just to, make you come out of your comfort zone. So I think that is it from Team Tasky Treaty, and so go on, treat your task with Tasky Treaty.
Thank you very much. Great job, guys. Great job, and the demo worked. Yay.
Yay.
Nora, let's start with you.
I'm curious, what was the inspiration behind the kitchen analogy that you used?
Yeah, both of us are like extreme foodies. So we are constantly thinking about eating and, cooking and eating. And also we wanted a game which is like playable by all. So we wanted to keep it very simple, even not a gamer per se can play it. So it's just click, drag and drop functions. So
At the same time, it's a very small session, around 2 minutes or so it's not too much of the production time getting wasted. And you collaborate in a team, and you kind of show that collaboration in the game as well for your team performance. So it's kind of what you are doing in the project is kind of getting narrated to the game.
Do you play the game together as a team, or is it individuals?
No, you play as an individual, and you have a shared leaderboard, so that's where they are competing against each other. But the more tasks you do in the Jira board, it's as a team collaboration, so the better the team's chances are to get easy levels in the game.
On the leaderboard, do you see which team you belong to? Is there like a team competition element to it as well?
No, other than the leaderboard, nothing else.
Thank you.
It's only the leaderboard.
Cameron?
So first off, very smooth on the demo issues. That we've all been there, man. You handled it perfectly, so hey. I'm sure your heart rate went to like 200 right there. The artistry also, everyone who knows me who's in this audience knows like visual design is the last thing I pay attention to, but the art there was amazing. So whoever was doing the art was fantastic.
Yeah, big shout out for our artist.
Yeah.
She's not here with us,
yes. I assume I could game it pretty easy. Like if I took everything out of to-do at the end of the day and just put it into in progress, I could drag that over. Would I be able to game the system pretty easily, or do you have controls for that?
You mean like if you put everything from to-do to in progress, then...
Yeah, if I just dragged over before the game started.
And move it back?
Or if I put a bunch of comments on the bottom, like we've had different scores based off of activity around stuff. Like there's no checks for.
Other than I think the commits, approval of the commits in Bitbucket, I didn't think we can anyways control it. So,
so basically your colleagues would have to call you out for rigging it. Got it. Makes sense.
Jeremiah?
So first of all, I have a lot of brothers, so I'm like really competitive, so I'm loving the leaderboard portion. Is the leaderboard only for your team, or is that company-wide?
For now, we have only for the team, especially for that project team. But we can, have a global continent, whatever, wherever it works.
Okay.
Yeah, why not?
And then do you manually input your teammates, or does it pull from some type of data that's already exists?
Right now, it pulls the data from the Atlassian project. Yeah, everything from the data.
Great.
It's a completely procedural game, and the proceduralism is all dependent on Atlassian data. There is no other configurations going on.
Thank you.
Robert?
So I really loved the way that you integrated with a lot of our products. Opsgenie, Bitbucket, Confluence, Jira. You had the Slack thing there as well. That was great. But I did find a bug on the third API call in your code. With the actual avatars, how much do you change the expression based on the input? Is it just random, the expression, or is it based on?
No, they are based on the states they are in. So once they come in, they have expression. While they are waiting, they keep going, keep changing the expressions. And for every character, that kind of changes over the time. So somebody can have it in 1 second, somebody can be pissed off in 2 seconds. And then once you give them, they have a different expressions. And if you don't deliver them, time is up, then they give you a different expression.
There's a waiting bar there, and then as soon as it goes from red, yellow, green, but at the red part, they are kind of getting frustrated. And if you are not able to serve them, they show like the anger. And there's a girl in hoodie, and we could not show it, but she kind of takes the hoodie and she runs away. And the dog kind of comes separately under the table from. He's like camouflaged, like a human being, but then you are not supposed to serve it because it's not healthy. Besides, they don't pay, and rather it gives you a negative marking. So yeah, that's there too.
So I just want to echo what Robert said. You used 4 Atlassian products. That was impressive. You integrated all of them, and then you integrated within Slack. I mean, I think it'd be great to be able to pull users out of different areas automatically populated too. My only comment is, one of your prizes is that you get to have lunch with the CEO. And I can tell you from my company, nobody wants to have lunch with me. Like, that would not be a prize. That would be like a punishment. Maybe you should give them real food or something. All right, thank you, Team Tasky Treaty.
Thank you, guys.
The graphics were amazing. Take on the role of a developer in the saga of the super dev. Explore the game world to find companies that ask challenging questions and provide valuable career tips along the path to becoming the legendary super developer. Close issues in Jira, open or merge pull requests in Bitbucket, create pages in Confluence, and more to level up. Please welcome Team Saga of the Super Dev.
Hello, Berlin. Hi, judges. So let's start presenting the team. I am Guilherme, this is Petros, and Wesley is on the crowd. We are Brazilians who live in Portugal, and we like to welcome you to the saga of the super dev. This is This is about living the life of an aspiring developer starting as a trainee until you become the legendary super dev. So our inspiration, we were thinking about a game that could be played in the long term. So the question was, what lasts, let's say, 15 years or 20 years, and makes sense for this context? And then we came up with, this should be related to your career. And also it should have a meaning on your real life. So reasons for you play again. So we thought that you should be learning something in this platform. Okay, this question came across, why Atlassian? Obviously, we are in Atlassian event, but if we were here, should we do it? And we have found our answer. It's a widely used platform, 200,000 customers spread all over the world, and most of the richest companies are using it. And they are really expert in software development products. So speaking about the products, we have integrated with 3 of the main Atlassian products. Each of one has a different way of feed up the game. And let's say Jira, every time you close a card, you get 10 points. If you create a new page in Confluence, you get 10. If you edit it, you get 1. On Bitbucket, we have created one specific page where you can choose any of your repositories. And if you merge your code, you get 10 points. If you open a new PR, you get 1. And if this PR gets dismissed, you lose 1. Yeah, then don't try to cheat the game. Sorry. So we have built this structure of the project using the 4 CLI. And we deploy it as a Jira global page and a Confluence global page. That means you can access by going to the top menu. There's an app session. You find us there. There's a trigger to listen events from Jira and Confluence, and a web trigger to listen from Bitbucket. And we build the front end with the custom UI module. We use the Phaser.js as a game engine, and to generate all the graphics, we use the Tilde. So we have an intro page that has a typecast AI human voice. This is Angela that explains all the rules inside the game. Okay, the game has 6 levels. It's trainee, junior, mid, senior, expert, and the super dev. To level up, you have to match the required points, and you have to answer all the questions. There are 2 top bars that you can follow your progress. So for each level, you have a building unblocked. This is a company. So we have at least 3 different soundtracks inside the game. And we have many career devices from characters spread in the map. Try to find them all. It's project managers, QAs, and many professionals. So I will hand over to Petros to the demo, please.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm going to be presenting our game, The Saga of the Super Dev. You can hear the music. This is an ARPG. It's a Zelda-like game where you can play around the map and explore. And usually on those types of games, you see people in the city that, if you talk to them, they say something like, oh, don't go to that cave, it has monsters and everything. Well, for us, we have something similar. Instead of saying you should not go to that cave, they are going to present to you a few careers advice, like for the experienced dev. Ask for help when you need it. If you get stuck in something, try for more 15 minutes. And if you're still stuck, you must ask for help. Also, you see on the right a building with a guard. It's because I don't have level yet to go there. I have to go to the first one, which is already available. This changes this music. It plays like a boss battle. We are on the company, people are working, and then we have the interviewer that is going to ask you a few development questions. I'm sorry for anyone that is not on IT, but like for example, which type is incorrect in here? I'm gonna select an array. It's verifying, okay. I got it right on the top right. I have answered 1 of 2. And what is a flow chart? It's a diagram that represents a set of instructions. Let's see if I got it right. I have answered all the correct answers, and now I can go to the next level. I can, instead of being a trainee, I can go to junior developer. And how can I do that? That's where Atlassian comes in, and then everything that I do on Jira and Bitbucket and Confluence as well, it becomes XP for me. So if I am to go to Jira right now, and actually close this, put it as issue is done. Let's see this other issue as well as done. And maybe create just an example documentation for my project. I could not get the Bitbucket open here, sorry, but if I were to merge PR, it will also give me XP. So if I come back to the game and refresh it, you can see I've become a junior developer. Now I'm a level 2. And if I come to here, the guard is not there anymore, so I can go to that company, and that company is going to ask me questions as well. It's going to get harder and harder. And we have a few of these buildings across the map so you can explore. And the last one is this big mention, is the Hall of Super Devs. And once you become one, you can enter, and there you're going to see the rankings. And then you can compete against your peers, which are all Super Devs again. And then you can see PRs, you can see the tests done, and the confluence as well. And this is our game. I'm going to pass back to Guilherme.
Okay, there is one
Thank
more
you.
slide. So about the future, we thought about some things, for example, character customization, give the user the ability to choose different hairstyles, skin color, etc. So there are two features that we could think. This requires integration with other things. It doesn't depend only on us. For example, the Atlassian dev community. For example, if you answer some question there and you get some like, for example, you could get points inside the game. Or, for example, there's these tech challenge platforms. Let's say there's an algorithm challenge. You get all tests passed on the platform, and then these points could come to your character. There's one more that we are particularly interested. I will start with this sentence. Great tech team with great business understanding is very powerful. This is because we can create better products, and that means happier clients. There are issues here. It takes a really long time for tech team get this business understanding, and in our industry, we have this high turnover. We cannot work around this turnover, but we could reduce the learning curve of this business understanding by giving the company the ability to create new questions, and this way they could drive every level what they should be learning. And they could, for example, link some questions to some Confluence page. After the user read it, it could go back and answer some questions. That's it. That's our presentation. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Saga of the Super Dev. And I guess you get better clothes and a Lamborghini once you get to the top level somewhere. Jeremiah, we're going to start with you.
All right. First of all, I love the layout of the game. It really takes me back to my Pokemon days when I played a lot of Pokemon. For the questions that you have to answer as you're trying to make your journey to become a super dev, is it language specific? I know I had one language, you call it a list, and one language, you call it an array. Did you have a language in mind when you were creating the questions?
Well, we have tried to get it as agnostic as possible, but it has a tendency towards JavaScript a little bit, but it's trying to be as agnostic as possible.
Got it. Points for that. JavaScript's my favorite.
Me too.
Robert?
I love the sound, the layout. I also like the fact that not only there's a fun factor, but there's a learning factor there too. And I think that's really important to your point about the high turnover and getting people to be super devs quickly. I have sort of the same question I had before, whereas how real-time, is the board affecting the game? Let's say you're playing for a long time. Do you have to hit refresh XP in order to get the information from Jira and Confluence and Bitbucket?
Yeah,
yes.
Right now it's working that way. We couldn't figure out yet how to do it in real time, so that's why there is the button. But let's see the next steps.
Okay, thank you.
Nora?
What do you do with the XPs that you get, or how does the data from Atlassian and the questions mixed together, how does that contribute to maturing through the ladder that you mentioned?
It gets harder and harder, and also I did not show there, but if I get it wrong, I'm gonna lose XP, and then I have to try again. But I only can go to the next level if I answer the questions correctly. Is that your question?
I think so. So I'm not sure how the questions and the data for how many tickets you closed and how many conference pages you opened, etc. How does that interlink with the questions? So what's the weight between them?
Yeah, I can get XP. But I'm not going to be able to go to the next level. I can get the maximum XP, and then I'm only going to, like, if I'm a trainee and I want to become a junior, I can only go to become junior after I answer the questions, even though I have the XP. So I need to.
Sorry. You want to know where the questions come from, or
no? I think
okay.
Just I try to understand how the. So my understanding was that the questions provide you also with questions from the business context and kind of additional knowledge, but you also got the tickets and all the information on your day-to-day job. I'm just curious how you mix the two together.
Yeah. Also, you can lose XP if you close the PR, right? If you do some bad things on Jira, you're gonna lose XP.
Cameron?
First off, I love just the concept of adding a game. I see this as a learning management system, like an LMS, but with game on top versus, generic. I did my test and I can move on to the next, which I'm sure all of us have to do in our companies. I would love for you to see you apply this to the Atlassian community, for answering questions and ranking up and getting badges and certifications. So I don't think it has to be specific to Jira issues or Confluence pages. Sort of the question, I assume, are all those questions and the hard-coded in, or is it something that is flexible where I could come in and put a
right now it's hard-coded, but we were thinking about getting from somewhere, or giving the company the ability to create the questions. So that's the plan.
Great. And how did a bunch of guys from Brazil end up in Portugal?
Well, it's the same language, though, so it's easier for us.
Okay. Good enough.
Yeah. One of the things I really liked about it, to your point, Cameron, is I find that, customer FAQs or help pages are really static, and people have a hard time going through it. I love the concept of the game, how dynamic it is, and I can see a customer support application for it, where I would go online. I mean, I could get customers stay on there longer than just going to a simple text-based question. I ask a question here, I get directed there. But really good job with the game. I love the graphics of it, takes me back. So thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, these teams were fantastic. Let's hear it again for all of them. Yeah. That was a lot of hard work. We appreciate them coming. Thank you to all three teams for your work. Now, we, the judges, are going to take a few minutes to deliberate and decide who our winners are. But we also want to hear from you. While I join my fellow judges to deliberate, I'm going to ask Sven Peters from Atlassian to help us decide today's Player's Choice winner. Please welcome Sven.
Thanks, Robert. Wow. Awesome. Teams, what they did, right? Awesome. And thank you all to the judges, right? Give it a hand for also awesome judges here. Yeah. So not only the teams can win something here, also you can win something. So you will get an email with a post event survey, and we will raffle some Visa gift cards for you. So please fill out the survey. Don't forget that. What we saw today was just like the tip of the iceberg. I mean, these three teams were awesome, but we got a ton of awesome submissions for Dev Unleashed. Really, really great submissions. You want to see them? Let's have a look. Wow. Pumping music. All right. So unlike in Die Höhle der Löwen or Shark Tank, we have an audience, a live audience here, and we want to leverage that. So we're going to give away an Audience Choice Award, right? And the prize is a trip to Las Vegas to Atlassian's Team 23. So the winner will get a trip to Las Vegas for Team 23, our biggest event, Atlassian's biggest customer event. Imagine this, but just like a magnitude bigger, with going over 3 days, with all the awesome product announcements and customer stories and you name it. So there we go to Las Vegas. So you can vote for your favorite team now with your hands, with your feet, with your voice. I just want to hear it. And then we make the decision. Okay, are you ready? Okay, good. So give it now for Team Ticket Adventure. All right. Good. How about Team Tasky Treaty? And the last one is Team Saga of the Super Dev. I can't really decide. Can we hear it again for Team Saga of the Super Dev? All right. I think we're going to see Team Saga of the Super Dev in Vegas then. Thank you very much. Back to you, Robert.
I wasn't sure who won the choice there. It was not clear. Wow. All right. We finished our deliberation. Let's bring out all the teams again. Come on out, everyone. Team Tasky, Ticket Adventures, Saga of the Super Devs. All right, so first of all, congratulations, Super Devs, for winning the People's Choice Awards. All right, here we go for $12,000. In third place, drum roll. Wow, that's so good. We have Team Tasky Trading. Woo! Congratulations. And now there are two teams left. We're going to know who won after I announce the second one. So our second place winner is, drum roll, Ticket Adventure. And that means our winner is Saga of the Super Devs. Wow. There's a lot of Brazilians or Portuguese over. Woo! How do you say winner in Portuguese? How do you say winner? Vencedor. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much to these amazing teams for unleashing your creativity. All three guys, amazing job in a short time frame. Really appreciate all the work. Thanks again to you, our audience here in Berlin and at home watching virtually. Enjoy the happy hour, although it sounds like some of you already have. And that's it. Have a great day. Thank you.
All right, we're back. How cool was that? A big thank you to our celebrity panel of judges, Robert Herjavec, Nora Burekske, and Jeremiah Peoples. Be sure to check out Jeremiah on TikTok at Jeremiah Peoples and on Twitter at We The Peoples. His posts are fire. I also want to give a special shout out to the 3 teams that competed today. Ticket Adventures from Chile, Tasky Treaty from the Netherlands, and the Saga of the Super Dev from Portugal. Thanks to all of the global teams that participated in this year's Dev Unleashed, and congratulations to our winning team. Now it's time to take you into the live Q&A portion of today's event. 3 of our Jira product managers, Bree Davies, Reese Christian, and Tushar Bhatia, will answer your burning questions about Jira software, Jira product discovery, Compass, Bitbucket, DevOps, and more. If you want your questions answered in real time, click on Join Live QA and Polls just above my video and submit your question. Your question will either be answered live in the QA session or via the chat.